We are live. It is Tuesday, March 18th, and it is I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I am really, 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 really happy to share with you what I'm going to share with you today. Hi, Marta. Hello, beautiful people. If you are coming in live, please say hello. Let me know that you are here. There are going to be prizes if you participate. Hi, Heather. For those of you that are new to my world, my name is Shilamida. I am so excited for you to be here. I just came off of the best weekend ever. Hi, Kim. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to see you all here. Thank you, Kim. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, okay. I need to take a minute, take a deep breath. So take a deep breath with me because the excitement is just, all right, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's regulate our nervous system. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose. Okay, let's do this. Hi, everybody. Hi. I'm so excited to have you here today. Thank you for those of you that have shared the book, have taken pictures of the book, all the things with the book. If you are new to my world and you have no idea of any of the books I've ever written, let me know that you are new here so that I can go say hello to you later. And if you've been here a while, say hello to me too. Have you guys seen this beauty? Look at her. She's a hardcover. This is next level. So for those of you that are new to my world, I am a four-time best-selling author. My first book was called 31 Days of Gratitude, Create the Life You Desire. Here is the thing about my books. They're not just books, they're interactive, okay? This is not a book, it is a journal that you get to write in, right? So we started with 31 Days of Gratitude because this is how it was when I was living on food stamps, when I was in rock bottom, when I just did not have anything to look forward to. I needed a tool. I needed something to help me. I needed something to motivate me because I couldn't motivate myself. So when I became an author, I decided instead of writing a book, which my first book was supposed to be called The Magic of Gratitude, instead of writing that book, I put it in my Google Drive and I decided to write this book because this is the book for those of you that have the excuses. I don't like to read. I don't have time. I don't have this. I don't have that, right? I know how many of you have all of the excuses. Thank you. So this book was written for those of you with excuses because I had excuses too, right? I was 250 pounds. I was broke. I was living on food stamps. I was a victim. I was miserable, right? So I had all of these excuses. I didn't know how to shift them and change them, right? This weekend, Dr. Joe Dispenza just totally validated everything that I've ever written, ever said, ever thought. It was amazing. If you've never experienced Dr. Joe Dispenza in your life, you have to. Tomorrow in my membership, we're going to go into it deep. So we'll talk about that later. Book number 2 was From Food Stamps to First Class, okay? This book is a little different. It is a book that you have to read, but look, there's pictures inside because guess what? When I started on my spiritual journey and someone said to me, haven't you ever heard of the law of attraction? Go read the book. The first book that I picked up, it had no pictures inside. So I read 3 pages and I put it down. It was my excuse. I didn't have pictures. I didn't like to read. I couldn't do that for myself, right? So this one has pictures inside. This one tells my life story, but it's not just about telling my life story. It is a personal development motivation book. Every chapter has affirmations on it. Every chapter you will relate to your life, the things that happened in my life, and the turning points that shifted me to get to where I am here. Book number 3 was I Am Grateful for My Life. It is a kid's book. It's got my 3 kids on the cover. It just connects all of the gratitude work with everybody in the household, right? Because this work isn't just about you. This work is about all of us. The more you do this work with yourself and you teach the people around you to be grateful, to have thanks, to elevate their thinking, to change their mind and thinking, you will see this pattern of everybody shifting, right? So we had book number 1, we had book number 2, we had book number 3, and then I wrote this book a long time ago. This book should have been out years ago, but I sat on it. Why? Because I had a lot of PTSD from releasing this book. For those of you that are new to my world, this book was released in July of 2020 in the heart of COVID, and people were worried about what they were worried about. And I was releasing a book called From Food Stamps to First Class. It really wasn't the vibe. So we're bringing it back now because it is relevant. It's important. The story is important. The way that it's written is the way that I speak. So if you connect to the way that I speak, you will finish that book in days. I promise you, it is so fast. Ta-da! The new one. After I wrote the first one, everybody asked me for a second edition. Not only was I asked for a second edition, but life has drastically changed, right? I went from food stamps to manifesting my career, my soulmate, my family. I was a single mom of 1, my body, my hair. If you look at photos of me in my past, the photos of me is short hair. I've realized that anytime I go through a crisis in my life, I always chop the hair somehow. And I was 250 pounds. So becoming the woman with the healthy, beautiful body, the beautiful hair, aging backwards, this has all happened because of gratitude. But what I realized is gratitude is just not enough, right? Everybody says, oh, you just think it and it happens. It's not enough. We have to transform. We have to change from inside out. And I just spent the entire weekend with Dr. Joe Dispenza listening to the science behind why the gratitude works, why the positive thinking works, why the breath work works, why balancing the chakras works, why all of this stuff works. It is incredible. There is science to back it up. So, when I hired my first coach in 2017, he looked at me, he basically laughed at me. He's like, you are such an A-star woman, but you present yourself in the woo and nobody will ever take you seriously. And so I have spent every day since then trying to prove him wrong, trying to prove that you can be in the woo and you can still make money and you can still have a great business and career. And that's okay. But now when you connect the science and there's actually proof that if you put your time and attention and intention every single day in the present moment now, being grateful, and then thinking about the future. Where is it that you can see yourself? Where is it that you desire to be? If we took away the money, the circumstances, the problems, the everything, if I took it all away and told you that you didn't have to think about the how, the what, the where, the when, and you could just dream and that dream would come true, wouldn't you do it? Wouldn't you do it? Everybody says yes, but nobody puts in the work. And I shouldn't say nobody. I stuttered on nobody because it's not nobody. There's so many people that put in the work, right? And there's so many people that start the work and then they stop the work. They start the work and then they stop the work, right? All right, so we're going to take a break and we're going to talk about prizes because I want to give away some really fun things today. And I want to tell you the rules of playing the games. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. For those of you that signed in late, thank you for joining me. I'm really excited to have you here today. Okay, to win, should I tell you the prizes first or should I tell you the rules of the game? Let's tell you the prizes first. Okay, so 3 people, there's lots of winners. 3 people are going to win a copy of my book. Any book you get to choose. 1, 2, 3, 4, you want the new one. If you ordered the new one, you can get an old one, whatever you want. I'll mail you whatever you want. Okay, 3 of you. One of you is going to win dun, 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 a Kindle Fire HD8 with 32 gigabytes, whatever that means, okay? And then the grand prize, one person is going to win. Are you ready? This is so heavy. A Dyson supersonic hair dryer. I think this thing is like $500. So I would definitely get in it to win it. So for first rule is first rule. You have to be signed up on the 62 days of transformation and gratitude link in order to claim a prize. Okay. So if you're catching this live right now on Facebook or somebody is sharing this and you're not signed up, Nicole is going to drop the link for you in the comments. Make sure that you're signed up for this event. Okay. Signing up gets you an entry in. Commenting on this live gets you an entry in. Sharing this live gets you an entry in. Buying the book gets you an entry in. So anytime you buy the book, please email support@shilamida.com. Not only are you going to get an entry into this contest, but Nicole is also going to send you back the Awaken Masterclass that I did. It's instant access, so you guys can start watching it right away, and you can get into the manifesting vibes right away, okay? And then for those of you that have already purchased the book, I've got a big one for you. You get 3 entries if you go and you do an Amazon review. It literally takes 2 seconds. Do the review and you will get 3 entries. They usually pop up within 24 hours. You can take a snapshot and email it to us, or we will see it and I will go in and I will throw you into the contest. How this thing is awesome. Okay. I mean, somebody needs to win this. Even if you don't need it, you can sell it. Where is the screen? Okay. So one person's going to win that. One person's going to win a Kindle Fire, and one person is going to win a book. Hooray! So now let's get to the book. Let's get to the people that have all the excuses, the people who don't like to read, the people that, you know, all of the things. What I want to do is I want to share with you my 10 spiritual laws as I have the 10 spiritual rules and laws that I have pulled out from all of the things that I've been doing, right? So for those of you that are new to this for the very first time, new to my world, my story goes that I was 250 pounds. I was living on food stamps. Woe is me, victim mode. I was a single mom. I really hit rock bottom and I didn't know how to get out of it. And the signs and messages started coming in after I got down on my knees and said, God, I didn't come here to live like this. Like, life has to be more. There's got to be more to this. Please, if you help me out of this, I will use my voice and I will help anybody that will listen. And so here we are, 23 years later. And I have studied Buddha, I have studied Tao, I have studied Kabbalah, I have studied with Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, Melanie Ann Layer, Dr. Joe Dispenza, anybody in the personal development world, you name it. I have probably invested $300,000 or more at this point in my personal development. And I can tell you that every single dollar spent has been worth it, because the only money that will ever matter is the money that you invest in yourself. Because everything else here, everything else is just material things. It's matter, and matter doesn't actually matter. Right? It's in the unknown, it's in the unseen. And in Kabbalah always taught that we live in the 1%, that what we touch, feel, what is, it's only 1%. And 99% of reality is in the unknown and in the unseen. And it's taken me 23 years to really embody and anchor this and to really understand it. Like, I get it. I get it. I have seen the greatest visions that I know are coming to me. And I know that if this was possible for me, that this is possible for you. But you have to put in the work. You have to put in the consistency. That very first coach that I hired told me not to use the word work. So I spent years trying to create content that didn't have the word work in it. And it was just like, what are you doing? You have to work. Everybody has to work. This doesn't just happen by closing your eyes and thinking about it. It doesn't mean that you have to go out and work 12 jobs. It means that you have to do the inner work. You have to quiet the noise. You have to turn inward. You have to connect with God, source, the universe, whatever it is that you know that is out there that is greater than you. That is where the power lies. And that's why this is so powerful, because this journal was created after I created my connection with God. So prior to COVID, I would say that I had a loose relationship with God. I knew that there was the universe source. I knew that there was something greater than me, because I knew that I was manifesting with an energy, right? But God always seemed like kind of a dirty word. I didn't like the connection of God to religion, and it just didn't work for me until I made it work for me, because COVID was so hard. And for a lot of you, actually, today, I think, is the anniversary of the actual lockdown day. And I know this last like 7 to 10 days, I've been super anxious. And even my husband was like, you're like playing with your hair a lot. And I do that when I'm nervous or when I'm really tired. And so the anxiousness has come up, and I'm not anxious anymore. And so a mentor of mine reminded me the other day, she was like, Shil, we are going through a cycle right now, right? Because I'm really cycling through 2020. And it's important to know that all of this stuff is trapped inside of our bodies. That's why this work is so important. That's why it's so important to show up every day, because something new is showing up in your subconscious every day. And you're not aware of it until you make yourself aware of it. So Dr. Joe says that we wake up in the morning and we live in our, what was the word? Our familiar past and our predictable future, right? You wake up in the morning and you start thinking about your day. I got to take a shower. I got to take the kids to school. I got to make lunches. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then when you're done thinking about the future, now you start thinking about your past. Oh, I had problems with this person. I had problems with that person. I had this thing happen. I had that thing happen. So you're going from the future to the past, and you're not in the now, right? We're not living in the now. So that is why this is so important. This brings you to the now. This makes you focus, right? Not only does it make you focus, it connects you to pen and paper, your heart, your brain. Everything has to work in order for it to come down. Now, some people can do this without journaling, right? Some people could just do this in meditation, but a lot of people can't. A lot of people need an extra help along the way. So this is a great way to do it. Hi, friends. Okay, so my 10 rules, as I have pulled them out from the universe. Number 1, give. The more that you give, the more you receive. This doesn't mean you have to burn out to give. This means you have to give with pure intention without trying to receive in return. You got to give in order to receive. My mom laughs at me because at her house, I still get this Lakota Indian school. I've been donating to them for the last, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 years, because when I was told to give and I was on food stamps, it was really hard to give. I didn't have money to eat with. I was eating Subway sandwiches for an entire week. And so I kept hearing give, give, give. And I'm like, but I don't have to give. And so one day I declared, the next person or the next thing that asked me to give, I'm going to give. And so I got like a mailer in the mail for this Lakota Indian school. And so I gave and I sent them money, and I've been sending them money ever since. And it shows me the abundance of what my life has become, because I gave in a moment that I didn't think that I could give. And every time I was asked, I gave. And that is now the way that I live my life. You will see, if you start this one practice, how things will change for you. Number 2, an attitude on gratitude. On any given day, your positive thoughts have to outweigh your negative. Recognize the negative and replace it with gratitude. Once you get into the habit of this, it will get easier. Say, I am grateful at least 20 times a day. There's always something to be grateful for. Even in the worst moments, you can always find gratitude if you try. The attitude of gratitude, part of it is the awareness and the consciousness, right? What set me on my path is that I didn't know that I was negative. I didn't know that I complained a lot. I actually had a new friend show up to my apartment and say to me, hey, you're really negative and you complain a lot. And this was after I already asked God to help me. And so I was there and I listened. Had it been any other conversation, any other person, I wouldn't have received her. But after that moment, I actually started to hear myself. And by the way, here's a spoiler alert. I'm still negative and I still complain a lot. I do not have a defined spleen in human design. My mind goes to the negative. I'm a realist. I go real first. And so I still, 20 years later, have to remind myself, well, this conversation happened like 18 years ago, this conversation happened. So I'm still reminding myself. So that's why this is the work. You have to work every day. It doesn't just happen. And once it happens, it's not going to continue to happen if you let the work go. How many of my clients who are watching this right now could tell you that you did a 31-day gratitude challenge with me? You did the 62-day mini mind with me. You bought a book and you did it to the end and you stopped. And then what happened? The roller coaster of life started to happen and shit hit the fan. And you're like, oh, why is this happening? I was grateful 6 months ago, a year ago, I did that challenge. I was grateful. You got to be grateful every single day, 20 times every single day. Every day, you cannot miss it. You cannot miss it. Number 3, recognize the ego. The ego self and your higher self are two different people. At any point, you can lower the ego and live from a place of love and light. It is okay to change. Awareness is key. The ego voice blocks us from the truth. You have to learn to connect to the intuitive feeling inside you. It's in all of us. We just have to remove the blocks to really connect to it. The ego work is the self-work that you're going to work on your whole life, right? That first recognition of ego and going through your first ego death is going to be the hardest experience of your life. But the on the other side of that is so amazing. Looking at yourself in the mirror and realizing I was wrong. And it's okay that I was wrong and I forgive myself and I'm allowed to make mistakes. It changes the conversation. It changes your whole being when you start to love and appreciate yourself and realize that you're human. Oh, I'm so grateful for you too, Diana, and all of you. Number 4, stop reacting. This has been my hardest one. And for those of you that have been on this journey with me for a while, you've seen the progression of this one. I used to be really angry, confrontational person. I would react before I could think. I would have tunnel vision. Instead, I learned how to breathe. I learned that there might be another side to the story, and I learned to hug instead of yelling. This one is a hard one and will take a lot of apologizing to turn around, but you can do it. Going back to the ego here, facing the truth of your own wrongdoings will be the catalyst of your growth. Number 5, lead with love and blessings. All day, every day, as much as you can remember in your head, send people love and blessings. This act alone will change your whole life. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of getting upset, send love and blessings to the cars around you. Be grateful that you are safe. When you open the door for someone, send them love. When you're watching TV, send them love. Forgive. This one is huge. If you are harboring a grudge or resentment, ill feelings, you will have a hard time manifesting because there is a negative vibe pulling at you. Forgiveness is key. You are only hurting yourself when you don't. Imagine that something happened to you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you can't forgive. Every time you think of that experience, you go back into that negative spiral. That's controlling your life. That's why you don't have all of your desires right now, because you got to let that shit go, because you're cycling. You're in that loop. You can't get out of the loop. You have to change yourself if you want to change your reality. Value yourself. Whatever you put after I am is. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am brave. I am love. I am light. I am living my purpose. I am. I know for some of you, these aren't easy or don't work because the evidence is not there. For instance, if you're overweight and you loathe yourself, affirmations like I am beautiful may not work. But an affirmation like I am becoming more beautiful every day, now that I am living a spiritual life, will work. All you got to do is change the language. Affirmations don't work because your body remembers. It remembers that you did the thing and you didn't forgive yourself, or you said you would do the thing and you never did it. Your body remembers. So the I am affirmations, they're important. In my membership group today, I had their assignment today to do 20 I ams, to really sit down and focus and intention with yourself. What are you? Who do you want to show up as today? What are you trying to shift in your life? Number 7, this is a big one. Stop judging and complaining. Judgment is a killer. When you judge someone, you open yourself up for judgment. You may not care about this at first, but you will at some point. It always comes back to haunt you. Trust me. When you criticize or base an opinion on someone, you're really talking about yourself. What we say reflects what we feel inside. So when you're judging someone else, you're actually holding a mirror to you. See the reflection so you can work on fixing it. If this doesn't make sense or resonate, it's because you still have to master the ego. So judgment is normal, right? I'm not going to say that I never judge anybody, but taking the judgment back, fixing it in the moment, shifting the thought, apologizing, and this is all self-work, right? When you look at somebody and you're like, oh God, how did she leave the house like that? And then it's like, no, send her love. She's happy with the way she left the house. She's okay with the way that she looks. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's having a really hard day and then she needs extra love, right? So what is my judgment doing? My judgment isn't doing anything. It's just taking away from my creation. Instead of me being grateful and imagining the next thing I'm going to wear or the next place I'm going to go here, I'm focusing my time in a negative way towards somebody else. So that's not the vibe if we want to manifest our every desire. Right? Number 8, I can. No matter what life throws at you from this moment forward, your response to it should always be, I can. Remove the word I can't from your vocabulary. Be conscious of using it. You can do anything. And so this is what's keeping us from our dreams. I don't know how to do that. How do you do that? How do you market? How do you start a business? How do you leave your relationship? How do you make a baby, right? How? Everybody is always stuck in the how, but it's not about the how. It's connecting to the inside. I can and I will and I want to. And if you can and you will and you want to, then you're going to figure out how. Right? My husband, the other week, I was trying to learn something and he was like, gosh, you're like a 3-year-old. Because I hate learning new things. I hate it. Hate it. I love it. I love learning new things. Technology bothers me, but it's a handicap for me. And so I'm learning it and it's hard. TikTok, I hated it. I hated it until I started making a lot of money from it. And now I love it. But it took me a long time. It didn't happen overnight. I couldn't make a reel for TikTok until I did the 365-day reel challenge on Instagram. And I didn't even get good at doing reels in that reel challenge. It just showed me that I was able to do it and I was able to show up for myself. And then I got good at it. And then it started to monetize for me. That's how it worked, but it didn't happen overnight. and it took a while. So sometimes things take time. Your desires are attracted to the person you're becoming, right? You don't have it now because of the person that you are. So you have to change in order to attract the things that you desire. Number 9, ask the universe. I really should say ask God, but we're going to keep it universe for those that still don't believe. It's okay. It all starts by asking for what you desire. Do you desire a new career, a new love, a safe space, or a healing space? Whatever you need, ask for it. Then be grateful for your life. You deserve happiness. You deserve abundance. Believe it only. Oh, sorry. I went ahead. So you have to ask. You have to ask for your desires. You have to write them down. In my Gratitude 365 membership, we go through different exercises in creation and manifestation and writing down lists. I had them do a travel list from A to Z. I had them do live lists. I had them do not like lists. These are all things that train your body and your mind, that you're working towards the things that you're thinking about, and it matches you towards your desires. This is an everyday thing. When you look at my life and you're like, I don't get it. Get it. I work at this every day. I created these things not only for you, but for me too. I pick up these pages and I turn and I open them and I read them and I'm like, wow, it's like an outer body experience every time. Like I wrote that because that was dropped in from the divine. God sent me the code and now I'm giving it to you. Ask for what you desire. Number 10, believe. It only works if you have faith, trust, and patience, but most of all, belief. Trust me when I tell you that anything you desire that comes from a place of true feeling of desire is on its way to you. You have to be patient and trust. Cognitive dissonance is what's keeping you away from your belief. We left Dr. Joe on Saturday night and we had a full conversation with somebody about the miracles, about the science, about everything. And they looked us dead in the face and they were like, that can't be possible. It's like, no, I'm telling you it's possible. I can tell you hundreds of people in the online space that I know that have had these miracles. That can't be possible. Just like it can't be possible that fluoride is blocking your pineal gland from actually receiving the message, just like it can't be possible that your doctors have no idea what they're injecting you with, just like it can't be possible. Everything is possible. We just don't know. And we don't know because we've been programmed into belief systems that are trying to protect us, right? The belief system is trying to protect us. We don't want to think that the toothpaste we've been using every day for 40 years is actually hurting us. Like what? Or the doctor that we go to and we put all of our trust into, like, what? I'm not supposed to trust that person. I'm supposed to trust myself? Me? What do I know? You know everything. You are God. You're God's child. You are a piece of God. You are creation. You are creator. You are the miracle. Every one of us. Every one of us. We've just been led to believe things that are not true. They're not truth. Think about it. Think about the stories you create in your head. You have conflict with somebody or you hear something and then the stories start, right? And you create 500 scenarios of stuff that is not true. You take all this time and attention away from your life, away from the now, away from the enjoyment of being alive to think about 10 things that may or may not ever happen, and you drive yourself completely crazy. It's insanity, right? It's total insanity. What about just thinking of the outcome that we want? Coming face to face and saying, I'm sorry. Having kindness and compassion, knowing that you're doing the work, you're leveling up, you're becoming further ahead, and we don't need to stoop to that level anymore, right? I used to be a level stooper. I used to love stooping at people's levels and going at them. And it wasn't because of them. It was because I wasn't dealing with the things inside of me. And now that I've dealt with myself, I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need to take time to argue with people who are not at my level. They don't understand this level of consciousness. They're not living in heaven on earth. I live in heaven on earth because of this work. Because of this work. So over the next 2 weeks, I am going to be coming live. I'm going to be sharing pages out of the book. I'm going to be doing wellness and wisdom for here. If you've been around for a while, I have done wellness and wisdom with this book for years. Facebook is now going to be deleting them. So we need new videos. So we are going to be doing new videos. For those of you that are just signing in, there are prizes to be won by sharing this video, by writing a review on Amazon. You get 3 entries by commenting here, by taking a picture of your book and sharing it in your stories, by sharing this with a friend. We need to get this out into the world. Everybody needs this work. Everybody needs this. This is good for everybody. And then you can win prizes. 3 people are going to win a copy of my books. Any book, pick a book, one is yours. 1 person is going to win an Fire HD 8 tablet so that you can download the books. And then 1 person is going to win this Dyson. Dun, 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 dun. There's 111 comments. Divine is here with us. You guys, thank you so much. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. I can talk to you for hours, but I want to keep this short and sweet. I know a lot of you are in the middle of your workday. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for buying the book. If you want more, if you love this and you're like, I want more, hop into my Gratitude 365 membership. We have our monthly membership call tomorrow, and I am going to dive deep into what I learned this weekend at Dr. Joe. I'm going to connect all of the dots from why the gratitude stuff works, how the manifestation works. There is like actual brain, heart, body connection. I'm like, eating it up. I love it. I can't wait to talk about it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope to see you around on the internet. I hope to see you on my lives in the days to come. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure that you are signed up at the 62 days of transformation and gratitude event in order to win the prize. You need to be registered for this event. I love you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you soon. Bye.